And your clonal research, tell us about that.
Oh, that was another interesting pursuit. So when I became the winemaker at Matanzas Creek, they wanted to plant a Chardonnay vineyard. They had, by then, Cabernet and Merlot, and I thought, well, is all Chardonnay the same, or are there different kinds of Chardonnay? I had no idea. So I went to talk to my old professor, Harold Omo, the viticulturist at Davis, and he was like, I'm so happy that you came to talk to me because no one's interested in my research. And his research was, what he wanted to do was research on clones. But instead, the only funding he could get was on creating new varietals like Symphony, these weird things that never took off really. So he connected me with the research station in Dijon, and I went to France and was like this eye-opening experience of seeing 50 different Pinot Noir clones growing in the same vineyard right next to each other. And also the French were doing all this research, which of course they were not talking about widely. They had convinced the American public that the only thing that mattered was that you had to have the right terroir, which then was limited to soil. And if you weren't in a limestone area and you weren't the right latitude and longitude, of course, Burgundy, then just give up, right? Because that's where you had to be there. Instead, what they were doing was all this research, which started for them really on the basis of trying to find Pinot Noir selections that would not be susceptible to rot because it rains so much in Burgundy.
Okay.
And along the way, of course, they realized these huge differences in the clones and the incredible quality you could get differences. So they actually had a miniaturized winery with miniaturized equipment, tiny tanks. They had like 5 vines of each selection, and they were actually making these different wines in like a dollhouse. There should have been a lot of women there, but there weren't. They were all guys. But
Oh, dolls.
anyway, so I came back, all jacked up, trying to share what I'd learned, but people in America were so into looking to the French for guidance that they were like, well, no, that's not right. They're not. That's heresy. Nobody talks about clones. It's all about the soil and the longitude and latitude. I'm like, you guys just don't get it. So anyway, at the end, what happened was, well, not the end, but I went back. I made some selections of Chardonnay and planted those at Matanzas Creek. When those grew up enough, we could make wine out of them. Then Harold Omo and I did the first clonal seminar at Davis.
It was in '85?
Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.